first talk about the tour. It begins on the 21st of July, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And by the way, thank you for saying not playing golf badly in Ireland.
Oh, you do. You play golf good. I heard you did. You played in the East Side Irish American one last year. If we had left you alone, you probably would have won the whole thing. But you had three other guys with you that dragged you down, didn't you?
Yeah, they didn't exactly drag me down. Your son chipped in on the last green. Talk about dramatic ending.
Okay, anyway, let's get back and talk about this tour. Tim, this is a very unique kind of tour because people can really enjoy good food when they travel down there.
Well, that's right, Terry, and you kind of mentioned it to Eddie earlier on. We do things differently here. It is a culinary theme with a little bit of pilgrimage thrown in there also. We really design all our tours to be different. Like you said, we don't do cookie cutter tours. We will do those things that you really can't find anywhere else because we truly believe that these tours should be an experience rather than just a tour. As we talk about, going to Ireland is awesome, but there are ways to make it even more special. And every time we design these things, we do that in mind. You know, it's interesting you were talking about some great dinners over there. I think you may recall the one year we actually stayed in Dromoland Castle. And you know, I know a lot of tours as a line of distinction will stay at the inn at Dromoland Castle, which is a great facility, but it is in fact not the castle.
It's not the castle.
We on the other hand stayed at the castle, and I recall how great that dinner that we had at the
wasn't
castle.
that nice?
Beautiful, absolutely
But
beautiful.
Tim, there's a picture of Colleen and Brian and the two daughters coming down the stairway, that big wide stairway. You look like the royal family.
Yeah, no, it was beautiful.
Guys,
It
what
was
was it? I think I took that picture. Didn't
Yeah,
I?
I think you did take the picture, but what an experience.
Yes.
So from everything was so perfectly planned, I couldn't say enough. So just this trip's going to be a trip of a lifetime.
Yeah, and I appreciate you saying that, Colleen. And Eddie, for point of reference, the distinction between port and sherry is actually grown in Spain. Port is grown only in the grapes in the Douro region, which is where we're going, which is in Porto. Porto is located in the Douro region. And Porto tends to be, port wine tends to be richer, a bit sweeter, and the alcohol content is almost twice that of sherry.
Is that?
Yeah.
I like the sherry better because I don't want to be getting drunk when I eat trifle.
Yes, the trifle, dessert. When he has a taste of his dessert.
Oh, I just...
Yeah, that's right. When we're in Porto, I'll be keeping an eye on everyone's consumption levels because the alcohol content is up there. But yeah, no, we had talked about it before, Jerry, and I think the last time I almost felt like someone told me it was like I was reading off a restaurant menu, and you know, it's a disservice the way I described it last time because these are designed for those who have never been. And for those who have been over to Ireland numerous times but have gone on the roads less traveled. Mm-hmm. And that's really what we do. So that we'll go to Cork and we'll go to, you know, the castle, of course, Blarney Castle. And for those who want to kiss the Stone of Eloquence, they can do that. For those who haven't, they'll be able to walk the gardens. And maybe on other tours, you get a little rushed. And we want to take our time. We want people to go in there, and if they've been to Blarney, we want them to take enough time to experience the different aspects of Blarney. The gardens there, as many of us know, are quite beautiful. But if your intent is to go up and kiss the Blarney Stone itself, it can consume almost all the time that the normal tours will allot you on there. So we want to do that. Because it's a culinary theme, we're going to the beautiful English market in Cork. You know, it's an area. It's like our West Side Market on steroids. You know, as you mentioned, Tom is a co-author of the Vatican Cookbook, and as we talked about before on the show, the reason we're doing this Christmas in July culinary theme is because Tom and the chef for the Pope.
Tom Kelly, of course.
Yeah, Tom Kelly, yeah. And we appreciate those listeners who stay with us after your show and listen to Tom. They're coming out with a Christmas edition. And they're going to be coming out with it shortly after we get back from there. So I thought it was just perfect that we feature, you know, the Vatican Cookbook and the author, and as you said, the chef is going to join us at some point on the tour and spend time, like we would in the English market in Cork, to go through and sample the local produce and actually purchase the produce and the meats, the proteins that we're going to use in the dinner later that evening. So that's really the different aspect of it.
Oh, it reminds me of my youth.
That's right, yeah.
Going out digging in the garden for the dinner.
Yeah, we'll bring you out there for the wild mushrooms and the turnips, and you can help the chef pick out the right ones.
Yeah, so we will. We're staying at some nice hotels also, Tim.
Yeah, you know, we pride ourselves on staying at either first class or deluxe. So you're either looking at 4 or 5 star, and again, it alludes to when we stayed at the castle. You know, those are the kind of things that we do which are special. The first 2 nights are, of course, in Kinsale, and we've talked about it before. We deliberately wanted to stay in Kinsale because although there's it's one of those roads less traveled or less stayed in. A lot of tours will go through Kinsale and they kind of blitz right through it, and you really don't get a feel for what is considered, along with Dingle, really 2 of the most iconic small towns in all of Ireland. So, yeah, so 2 nights in Kinsale at their spa there. Then, of course, we go up to Kilkenny. And as we talked about before, our friends at Sullivan's are planning some special things for us there.
Sullivan's Red Ale, right?
Sullivan's Red Ale.
The Smithick family.
The Smitticks, yeah, and considered the finest red ale in the world. According to did you know, Colleen, that there's actually it's called the Oscars of the beer world.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, that's right, I heard about
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay.
This is in Tim's Backyard Beer Festival that they won. This is actually considered
Yes,
the best in the world by the best out there. So, so Jerry, yes, we will be staying in Kilkenny for the night, and not too far from the castle. And we do have something planned actually at the castle for our group. Again, something a little unique. What I'm working on is bringing in some local artists from Ireland that are coming in and do a special concert for us on the grounds of the castle.
Wonderful. So then we'll go on to Dublin. We'll do the food tour in Dublin.
Yeah, and it's a food tour, and it's not just a food tour of the city, it is also a walking tour. So they get to experience all the, and a lot of, this is where it comes into those who have been to Ireland before and to have spent time in Dublin. Maybe they've been to Kilmainham, maybe they've been to the GPO, maybe they've been to the storehouse and they want something different. So we designed this part of the tour to not only satisfy those that never been before, so it was a walking tour of the city, but it is with a culinary theme. So that would be a point of distinction. A lot of people have been to the Guinness Storehouse. What we're adding to it is, of course we're going to do the Storehouse, but what we're adding is there is something called the Open Gate Brewery at the Guinness Storehouse that most people haven't been to. So we're including that in for our group. We're staying in Dublin, outside in Dunleary. As you know, Jerry, Dunleary is really a very affluent suburb of Dublin.
Yes, beautiful place.
Beautiful, right? It is a seaside city, right on the Irish Sea, and we wanted to make it so that we're there in the summer. We're in July. There's nothing more beautiful than summer in Ireland. So we thought, why not have the benefits of Dublin, but be just outside the city? And enjoy the great boardwalk that they have over there. One of the nights we're having a special dinner and cocktail hour at Hartley's. They've got a beautiful seaside terrace. It really is stunning. And our group will be enjoying a little pre-cocktails there before the dinner. That'll be there. And for those who want to go in, Dunleary is the residence of Enya.
The general area.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, right?
Yeah. My sister-in-law lives just down the road at Monkstown, which is actually a walk from Dunleary.
Yeah, and that's what we want to do. The James Joyce Museum is within walking distance of it, so it really is a great spot for those who want to have access to Dublin and spend time in Dublin. But for those who maybe have been to Dublin enough and they want to do something different, as we talked about before, the one morning I know you're going to take a group up to the Mary Plowboys, which are coming into town. We're also making available for those who don't want to go to the Mary Plowboys, and we're going to have a catered lunch out on Dalkey Island. Okay, nice. And we talked about that for those who are adventurous enough, they can kayak over to Dalkey Island. It's only 300 meters from the mainland, where we will, as I say, it'll be a catered lunch there. Get some time to walk among the monastic ruins and interact with the wild goats. Like I said, for those who are going to kayak out, and we'll have a ferry if they don't. Bottlenose dolphin will often come up alongside the kayakers and up alongside the boaters who go out. So
then it's off to jump on the plane next morning and head off to Portugal.
That's right. And our partners again are CIE, and they take care of all that airfare for you. We are there to help you out.
Price.
Oh yeah. We make this as turnkey as possible for everyone. But yes, we fly in. Our first 3 nights are in Porto, the home of port wine. Again, a culinary theme, so we'll not only take advantage of the port wine that's available to us, we'll be going to the Taylor winery, which is considered one of the finest port wine manufacturers in the world. They have a beautiful lodge here called the Graham Lodge, where we'll do some sampling, we'll have a little bit of food. So again, it'll be that different kind of experience that you don't get on any other tour. We've talked about it before. We have a lunch on Douro River, a catered lunch with some great cuisine there. And then our last 2 days, we go down to Lisbon. Of course, the pilgrimage aspect of it will, of course, take in some of the great churches in Cork that a lot of people haven't gone to before. But of course, when we're in Portugal, we will be going up to Fatima.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, that's right. I've never been there. Never been to Fatima.
Yeah, no, it promises to be. It really is a great experience. The fact that the chef is likely to join us in Portugal, and it really, I'm hoping that he'll join us there so that we not only have that experience, but do it on the same day that we're at Fatima, that we have the dinner the day after that. So that's the plan, Jerry.
And then the Lisbon sightseeing tour.
Lisbon, yeah, no, Lisbon is considered much like Dublin. Some of the they're very special cities, very cosmopolitan, and there's a lot of people that are realizing how great the 2 cities are. But yeah, 2 nights in Lisbon, 3 in Porto, and so 5 in Portugal and 5 in Ireland.
Yeah, the narrow streets, the little bakeries and cafes all in Lisbon, a lot like Dublin actually.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right, and we've given enough time, and that's why we want to spend time in there, so that people can walk about the town, take in that great, like you say, that great pastry shop that they can tell their friends about. That's why we designed the tour the way we did. We want to leave enough time for people to really get in there and not feel like they're rushed throughout the whole process.
Then board the plane next day and we're on our way home, 1st of August.
Back to CLE, yes.
Right, that's great. Now Tim, phone number, email, all that good stuff?
Yeah, the best number is to call me at 216-210-0828. Again, 216-210-0828. You can look at, on Facebook, we have Culinary Europe. I've been posting some stuff there. I'll get a little more active in that, and I'll put some stuff up there. I put some recipes up from the Vatican Cookbook just before Christmas to try to encourage people. So that will become more of a resource for people. But you can check out the itinerary there. You can email me at tvaughan, TVAUGHAN, at salemcleveland.com.
Or they can call Mary Lou. That's what's on our commercial here. Mary Lou's number is 440-915-8322. So yours, Mary Lou, or email.
That's
or
right.
You can go to Facebook and probably type in culinary tour. Would that do it?
Yeah, if you do Culinary Europe, you'll find the Facebook page for us, and you'll have all the information there also.
Great, great. So let's get signed up, folks. The sooner people sign up, the better, so that we can have all the arrangements made. It's just much easier besides coming in at the last minute. So do it again. The number once again, Tim's number is 216-210-0828. And the email is tvaughan, VAUGHAN. Make sure you put that A in there. He gets annoyed if you leave out the A. tvaughan at salemcleveland.com. All right, the reason you, wait a minute, I'm going to tell you. The reason you get annoyed is because Vaughan in County Clare, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. A lot of people assume that the Vaughan name is Germanic, which if you take the A out, that's the way the Germans would usually do it. It does have English heritage roots too, actually from Wales.
But there's a lot of Vaughans around that area in Clare and Galway, isn't there?
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
your people came from Galway anyway, didn't they?
Yeah, we have, Streamstown.
Do you still have that pub over there you talked about?
Yeah, Shawnee Vaughan's dad's pub is still over there. It's changed ownership, as a matter of fact.
That's, where's that?
That is in Clifton.
Oh, that's in Clifton. Oh, yeah. One of Eddie Ambassador Crawford's favorite towns in Ireland is Clifton.
Yeah, it's a beautiful little town, and again, it's a town that really doesn't get as much tourism. There's a lot because there's so many beautiful places in Ireland that you really have to get to it. And unfortunately, a lot of the towns like Kinsale, like Clifton, like Kilkenny, just don't have enough. People just don't spend enough time there, and then we try to take that into account when we design our tours.
Oh yeah, it's a great little spot. Okay, thanks, Tim.
Thank
You
you.
got to
Jerry.
see the Alcock and Brown when you go there.
Oh, okay.
Hotel.
What's it called?
Alcock and Brown. There was first transatlantic flight that landed there in Ireland.
Oh, okay. Well, we appreciate that. We'll look into it right away.